History is never told by a single voice. Every era has its own forces and legends. Amidst hundreds of conflicting accounts, we bring you the most mysterious and powerful version. Look closely at the map, for the gates of the past are about to open. Imagine stepping onto cold marble tiles where nothing echoes but whispered conspiracies and the suffocating scent of fear. In Rome, during the mid-3rd century's military anarchy, life was no coincidence. It was a brutal game of kill or be killed. Emperors were dragged to the executioner's block, while women were crushed into the margins of history without a voice. Out of this shadowed world emerged Ulpia Severina. Descending from a noble Dacian lineage, she was raised in an aristocratic atmosphere, learning how power is truly wielded in silence. Her strength lay not merely in her illustrious heritage, but in a mind that observed from behind the curtain, deciphering the language of authority, waiting for the precise moment to tip the scales and carve out a destiny no woman had ever dared to claim. She understood that in the arena of imperial politics, patience and strategic stillness were far deadlier than drawn swords or marching armies. While everyone scrambled for golden lineage and high-born titles, Severina met Aurelian, a battle-hardened commander of humble peasant origins from Illyria, who had forged iron control over the fiercest legions along the Danube. Aurelian saw in the well-connected Severina his gateway to political legitimacy in the capital, while she recognized the commander capable of safeguarding her path to the throne. They bound themselves in a calculating alliance and had a single daughter, shielding her behind a veil of absolute secrecy to protect her from blood-soaked court intrigues. When the emperor died and his brother Quintillus seized power, Aurelian merely sent the terrifying reputation of his armies ahead, leaving Quintillus cowering in the dark to slit his own wrists in terror. Aurelian ascended the throne, immediately crowning Severina with the official title of Augusta, Empress and true co-ruler of the realm. In a rigid patriarchal military state that respected nothing short of the sword, Severina raised the stakes to the absolute extreme. Refusing to remain confined to the capital, she mounted her horse and accompanied the legions through the empire's fiercest field campaigns. From the arid eastern deserts to the cold, dense forests of Gaul, she personally managed the army's vital lifelines. She oversaw supply caravans, secured grain shipments crossing the Mediterranean, and strictly regulated gold payroll schedules for thousands of frontline cavalrymen, head-offing supply shortages and financial mutinies that had brought down emperors before them. The hardened legionnaires and generals, who typically despised civilian politicians, witnessed her unyielding discipline and razor-sharp vigilance. Bending to her authority, they awarded her a rare military honor, Mater Castrorum et Patriae, Mother of the Legions and the Fatherland. While Aurelian waged war on distant frontiers, Severina governed the empire's daily affairs from her palace with absolute authority. During a routine audience, as servants presented a tray of freshly minted coin samples for her approval, she picked up a piece to inspect it. In that sharp, cinematic moment, total silence fell over the hall. Between her fingers, she caught a discrepancy in weight and an uncanny luster that defied the true density of pure silver. The volume betrayed the weight. Revealing nothing, she concluded the session with icy composure. Once the hall cleared, she ordered the edges melted and the surface scraped, exposing a sinister fraud. Cheap copper coins dipped in silver to siphon off precious metals. She immediately launched a covert intelligence operation, cross-referencing mine receipts with market circulation, dismantling the corruption ring, and personally overseeing the minting of a new silver Antoninianus. In October 275 AD, an assassin's blade ended Aurelian's life in a conspiracy orchestrated by his private secretary, Eros, at the camp in Thrace. In a single instant, Rome trembled to its core, and ambitious generals along the frontier braced to seize the throne in a bloodbath of civil war. but Severina acted with astonishing speed and political brilliant foresight. Exploiting a rare constitutional loophole with the direct backing of the Praetorian Guard, she officially declared a state of interregnum, vacancy of the throne, elevating herself as the absolute and sole ruler of the Roman Empire. She became the first woman in Roman history to govern in her own sovereign right. For 100 full days, she held every lever of power from Britain to the Euphrates, holding dawn audiences, appointing senior magistrates, managing diplomacy with the Sasanian Empire, and strictly controlling military disbursements to neutralize any rebellion. To completely crush the ambitions of rival generals and prove her absolute command, she executed a masterstroke of political economics. She commanded the imperial mints to strike unique coinage, featuring her crowned profile with the radiant crown, inscribing on the reverse a message sharp as a blade: Concordia Militum, harmony of the military. The message to every legionary commander was unmistakable: legitimacy and the treasury remain in my hands. Your soldiers' bread lies at my feet. Anyone who moves against me will see their army starve before a single sword is drawn. After 4 months of total stability, once the borders were secure, she orchestrated an unprecedented exit. Rather than awaiting assassination, she convened the Senate, granted them authority to elect an elderly senator named Tacitus, and voluntarily abdicated. She and her daughter vanished into history, leaving behind gold coins as enduring proof.